never down, never. Like a theme in a song, clever. Feeling high, feeling low at the same time. Feels so right, then I'm wrong, hoping I'll be fine. But I get up, I always do.
Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hope you're all doing okay, or if you're new here, welcome. So today I wanted to do a little bit of a different video. So it's not going to be one of my normal vlogs, but it is still going to be a vlog. So I wanted to do this for a while now, but I wanted to do it on a day that I was actually feeling okay and I was actually feeling well enough to be able to go through things with you. So today I'm going to be doing a day in the life of living with a feeding tube. So for those of you that don't know, I actually fully rely on a feeding tube that goes directly to my bowel, and it's due to a condition that I have got called gastroparesis. So gastroparesis basically means that my stomach is completely paralysed and anything that I eat and drink orally doesn't stay in, so I have to rely on a feeding tube, and that is for anything you can possibly think of. So anything that you guys might have orally to help your body stay alive, you know, food, drink, medicine, nutrients, anything that you can think of, I just have that a slightly different way, and that goes through my bowel. So I'm feeling okay today. I'm feeling really positive, I'm feeling okay, and I thought, yeah, we need to do this today, Beth, because if I don't do it today, I don't know when I'm going to get another opportunity. Because if you've watched me for a while, you will know that sometimes I do really struggle, and I have some really horrific bad days. Some days I can't even get out of bed in the morning. So today is a good day and we're going to make the most of it. So we're going to do this video today. I really hope you enjoy it. If you don't already, please make sure you subscribe down below and keep up with me and my crazy life that I have to deal with, and don't forget to give the video a big thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. And yeah, let's get straight into it. So today is Saturday, so today I am off work. I do normally work during the week and on the weekend. I do normally do my apprentice work, but if you've seen my last vlog, I've got a new job now and I don't need to do my apprentice work anymore. So today is just the best possible day to do this. So I have been awake for a few hours now, and I've purposely not done anything that I would usually do, just so I can show you everything that I have to do during the day. So it's about 11:30 now, so I've been up for a couple of hours already. So firstly, I'll just give you a little bit of a background story about my feeding tube journey. So I first got sick when I was 12 years old. It was a long time ago now because I'm actually 24, and there was a period of time where my body was just massively deteriorating. And when I say deteriorating, I don't want to start the video off on a bad note, but I was basically on my deathbed. Right now, if you look at me, obviously I look quite healthy, and I've got no makeup on, but I look like a healthy weight and things like that, which I am. So I'm roughly about 9 stone 10 now. I am actually 5'9", so I am quite tall, if you haven't guessed already by looking at my vlogs. But yeah, I'm really quite tall, and at the minute I am 9 stone 10. So before I got sick, I was actually roughly about 10 stone 12, which again is still healthy. I was absolutely fine. I wasn't overweight. I was just a really nice weight for my height. I've always been kind of like a curvy girl, not as in like curvy on the bigger side, but I've always had like curvy hips and curvy legs and etc. And when I first got sick, my weight just kept dropping and dropping. And it got to the point where I needed a feeding tube because I just couldn't keep anything down. I first started having NJ feeding tubes, which basically is a nasal tube that goes to your jejunum, which is NJ, nasal jejunum, I think that's what it stands for. So yeah, I started having all of these tubes. So like I said, I'll insert a picture, and it was over about a year. I kept having them in and out and in and out, and the reason why they kept coming out was because I'm still sick even when I don't eat and drink. Even when I don't eat and drink, when my natural acids build up, I throw up. So when I did throw up, my tubes came out with it. So there was a few occasions where I was stood there with a tube. I think I've actually got a picture, but my tube came out one time, so I'll insert a picture of that as well. So yeah, we knew that the NJ tubes wasn't working, so it got to the point, and the lowest weight I dropped down to was 6 stone. And I was extremely underweight. I couldn't even lift my own arms up. I couldn't do anything. I was constantly in hospital on drips and potassium drips and heart monitors because my body was just, it was dying. there's no other way to put it. I was literally dying because I had no nutrition, and you guys know without any nutrition your body can't survive. One of my doctors actually put it in a bit of a way for me to describe it, as in like your body's kind of like a car, and in order for your car to run you have to put gas in it, so like diesel, petrol, etc. And it's the same with your body. So in order for your body to run you have to put nutrients inside of it, and I wasn't getting them nutrients. So they made a really snap decision in order to get nutrients in my body that they would stay in. So I actually had to get a permanent feeding tube, which the first one I ever got was called a PEDG. Now I'll insert a picture of the first ever one I got put in, and now this was in February 2013. So I got this put in then, and within 3 weeks I'd already put on about 1.5 stone, maybe even 2 stone. It was very, very dramatic. My body was kind of grabbing to any nutrients it got, and straight away I was feeling healthier because I actually had vitamins and nutrients in my body for once in my life. So yeah, I'd had this for roughly about 6 to 12 months, and then after that they changed my feeding tube to a Mickey button, which is what I've got now. So it's also known as a low profile button, but it basically is just a smaller feeding tube. It goes to the same exact part, and that's how I get my nutrients as well. So the feeding tube that I've got is also known as a JEDG. So that's just a JED. It's so hard to, let me just get it up in front of me because sometimes I can't say these words and I don't want to sound really stupid. So it's a jejunostomy tube. So that's how my body survives, because I have everything through my jejunum. So first thing I do every single morning is take off my tubey pad, because I sleep in tubey pads. Now tubey pads are just a material that you put around your feeding tube, and it just helps absorb all the leakage that you get from it, and it just helps prevent your skin from getting bad and things like that. So I haven't taken it off yet, purposely for this video, so I can show you what it looks like. I'll just stand up first and show you my feeding tube. So you've all seen it by now. This is literally my feeding tube. I do actually have some gems on it which are coming off because I've had the tube in for a while. It normally gets changed about every 6 months. So I'll just take my tubey pad off now so I can show you the reason why I keep it on overnight. Right. So this is something that I put on. So just to explain, I put a tubey pad on in the morning, which you'll see me doing in a minute, and I also change that just before I go to sleep and sleep with another one. So technically I put 2 on in a day, and then in the morning I change it again, and then it carries on like that. So this was a tubey pad I put on overnight, and as you can see from this, that you can see there is how much it's leaked. So this is a reason why I use these. It doesn't look that bad from that side, but you can definitely see obviously where it's leaked and things like that. So that's the first thing that I do, is take that off. Just in case any of you are wondering, this particular one is from Lulabelly by Ellie, and I always get my tube pads from her. I've also been getting them from other places recently as well, but yeah, these, if anyone's after a tube pad, these are the ones that I wear quite often. So now that's off, I need to go ahead and clean my tube. So it's something that I do every morning. I have to do it because if I don't, it will get infected, and it is just not nice having a feeding tube that's infected. Honestly, it smells, it leaks, it ruins your clothes because it leaks that much. It's just not a good time. So I do anything I possibly can to prevent a feeding tube infection. So let's go ahead now and go and clean my feeding tube, and I will show you how I do that.
I was never the one to write up a song for just anyone.
Okay, so I just clean the top of my drawers. So sometimes I don't do it in here every day, sometimes it just depends where I am, but wherever I am I have to make sure it's completely sterile, like it's completely clean. Like I said, you need to do everything you can to prevent an infection. I have also hand sanitized my hands, which I obviously didn't record, but yeah, I do that every single day as well. So I've just got out a few things that I need. So firstly, everyone, just to point out before I do this, every single person that has a feeding tube will clean their tube in different ways. You've just kind of got to do what works best for you, because if you've watched my vlogs before, or if you haven't, you might not know, but sometimes I really struggle.
Hey! Bad timing that, weren't it? Not really bad timing.
It's alright, you're right.
I'm opening up your letter. I don't know what it is. Sorry guys! Go on.
That was James, you all know who James is. So yeah, as I was saying, everyone cleans their tube in different ways, and as you guys know, I really struggle with my feeding tube. I have done for quite a while now. I really struggle with leakage, and you've just kind of got to do what works for you, and at the minute this routine that I have got is working for me. So the things that I always use every single day is I have a pack of like clean gauze, so they're just gauze, there's no other way to describe them. So they're in this plastic box, and I also have this magical box of tube creams which I have labelled so I don't forget, because I have brain fog a lot of the time. So everything that I've possibly used on my tube goes in here, and I'll just show you what I'm using at the minute, but I just keep everything, and anything that I've taken out is in these drawers. So first of all, the two things that I use is two separate gauze. So one of them I wet with sterile water, and a second one is dry. So I'm just going to pull the camera a little bit closer to you, so closer to me, not to you, so you can see what I'm doing. So firstly, please excuse these, by the way, I've just come on, so I'm not in the best way. So one of the things that I've told you that I always do is I always seem to have a scrunchie on my wrist, and I just use this to tie my top out of the way or anything like that. I never wear crop tops or anything, so I always have like a big baggy jumper on, or pajamas or anything like that, so I always need to tie it out of the way because it's really super hard. Some people can just like tuck it up, but I don't know, I just prefer to actually tie it around the back of me with a scrunchie. I've told a couple of people about this before, and a lot of them have said like that is such a good idea. I'd never really thought about it, but it's just something I've always done. I don't know why, it just, now I've got two free hands, that's out of the way. So this is my feeding tube, as you all know. Sorry if the camera's on a bit of an angle, my stand's not very good. So this is my feeding tube. Obviously my tube pads come off. So the two gauze that I use are here. So one of them I have got in sterile water, so one of them's wet, one of them's dry. Really just clean it, just wipe round it. Like I said, it's sterile water. All it is literally sterile water. It's nothing, it's not got anything in it, it's literally not got like any cleansing products in it or anything. It's literally just natural sterile water. So I just literally clean it as much as I can. I try and get right in there, because sometimes you can get like some actual like things in the tube, and it's just best to clean it as thoroughly as you can. So now that I've cleaned that, I'm just going to pop that on the side. I'm just going to get my fresh dry one. So like I said, it's so important to make sure it's dry, so the first thing I do is literally just dry it. So dry my skin, make sure that it's not wet at all, make sure I'm not leaving any sort of wetness on my skin. So that is literally completely dry now. Next thing that I use, let me just get my magic box of creams out. So I use a barrier spray. So the one that I've got, a couple of them. This one is a really good brand. It's called Mediderma S. It's just total barrier film pump spray. So it's lit and it just says no sting. So that's what I use. So I know it's a really good brand, this. My tubey nurse has given it me a long time ago, but I also do have a different one, which is just again a non-sting barrier spray. Just give it a shake and just literally, so I just spray this as much as I can all around it. So I move my tube out of the way. I do put quite a lot of it on, but it's just because I have real troubles with my tube, and sometimes I do need that much. So I just have to let it soak, not soak, I just have to let it dry for a bit, and it just basically creates like a barrier around my tube. And it does go a bit tacky as well. So I'll just leave that for a second while that's drying, and then I will show you what I do next.
I was always the one to find myself lost in long conversations, cause I've always been told that things will...
Okay, that is all dry now, and I can tell that it's dry because it's not basically not wet anymore. So it just creates this barrier around your skin, so it doesn't feel sticky, but you can tell that it's on. So it just creates this barrier around your skin just to prevent any leakage. And then one of the products that I'm using at the minute, I need to order a new one, but it's called Ilex cream. It's really good, and it's something that I just find is like the best thing ever for me at the minute. Now I've actually run out of Q-tips, so at the minute I have actually been having to use just gauze to put it on. I've just been kind of folding it up to putting it on just before I'm able to go out and get some new ones. It is literally, it goes a really long way. So, and I just try to not put that much on, because like I said, it goes a long way, there's no point. So all I literally do is just put that all around my tube. And this cream itself, it's a barrier one as well, so I put it all around as much as I can, and it basically creates a thick paste. It actually turns into a massive thick paste, and just creates a much stronger barrier. So I've got the barrier spray, and then I've also got the barrier cream as well, and this is something that's working really well for me at the minute. So I can't put my chubby pad on top of that because it's really, really wet and you have to let it soak in. So a lot of the time I just have to leave that for a bit now. I leave, obviously, my top up, so it's just literally like this at the minute. I just leave my top up for a bit, might make a brew, do what I normally have to do, and then I'll come back and put my chubby pad on. So while I'm waiting for that, I'm probably going to go and set my water up. So one of the things that I am on is I have about 1.5 litres of water every day that goes through my feeding tube. So the feed that I have is just bolus, so that just means that I do it myself just during the day. But I'm actually hooked up to my machine roughly for about 10 to 11 hours, just depending on how fast I do the rate at. So I'm going to go and set that up now and show you how I do that. So the water that I have is literally just cool boiled water, so it's also known as just sterile water. It's always what I've been told to do with my nurses. So I have this bottle here. I open one of these. Sometimes I use them for a couple of days, and then a lot of the time I use new ones. I get a massive set from Abbott every time they get delivered. So yeah, what I do is in the morning, I boil a kettle, literally pour boiling hot water in here, let it cool down, and then now it's ready. So this has actually already been probably poured in there for a couple of hours because it has to cool down, so that's why I've already been up and I said that I hadn't got the water yet before. So what I need then to set this up, so this is my pump, like this. It's an Abbott pump. So like I said before, it's a given set that I need. So this is something that I use a new one of these every single day. I have a massive set of them every time they get delivered from Abbott, and they just come like this. So all I like to do is take off all of that and put that on the top of there. And then that is nicely on there. So some people have like feeding pumps that they can just like manually what's it called, prime it themselves. So priming is just basically filling that tube with water. So because at the minute, if I was to attach that to myself, that is all full of air because I've just opened it, so you have to prime the water through it. So yeah, some people have these feeding pumps that they can just manually prime it themselves by squeezing the bottle, but these ones from Abbott you can't. Like, you might be able to possibly, like, if you can tell the water's coming out a bit, but it would probably take me ages and a lot of effort to do that. So I just hook that onto the top. You're not going to be able to see properly, but I just hook that onto the top of there. Then the next things I need to do, by the way, the end of this, it's not on the floor, it's on my knee. But there is a little cap on the end of it that you can just kind of put that in there just to make sure you don't get any dirt in there. So I'll do that now, like that. So yeah, there's a section here. So hard to do at the same time. Section here that I open this and then I place that in there. So that's obviously the pump, and that's what makes the water move around. Close that back off, and then I just turn it on. I'm gonna have to tell my mum, by the way, that if you're watching this, you're gonna have to skip past this bit, because if you've watched this before, you'll know my dog hates the sound of this, and even if he hears it through the telly, he'll go mad. So yeah, I literally just prime it. So all I do to do that is just press that button there, and it's now priming it for me. So what you can see now is, I'll show you in a second, but the water is actually coming out of there and through the tube, so you'll be able to see it in a minute come out of here, which I'll just show you. It's very heavy to hold, I don't know why I'm doing it this way. If you can see there, the water is being primed through there. So I'm just going to let that run a little bit. And now I also mentioned that I needed one of these. So this is the extension set. So this is what actually goes on my feeding tube itself. I can't connect that directly onto my tube because this is the opening here. That will not fit on there. I have to put that on there and then connect them together. So one of the really annoying things about this pump is when it primes, it's like manually generate, I don't know how to explain it, it's already like built into the machine that when you press the prime button, it'll prime as much as this, how long this is. So I don't know how many milliliters it is, but it'll basically prime it up until the very end of this, and you have to press the button again for it to fill the end of this. So I'm just going to let this prime now.
If you keep on waiting, but then you came along and proved me all wrong. I was so mistaken, 'cause you glue all the pieces back.
So you know when it's primed, when that's all the way, sometimes I do let it drop out a bit of water, just so I know it's all the way through. So if you can see there, the water's dropping through. So just going to clamp that now. Next thing I need to do is my medications. So I'm just going to leave this pump on hold for a second, so it's already on. I'm actually going to use this extension set, so I'm going to take that off there. Like I said before, it's already primed now, so I'm just going to pop that lid that I mentioned before back on there, just so that nothing like dirt or anything like that can get in there. And I'm going to do my medications. So I've already done a medication tour before, so I'm not going to tell you exactly what I'm putting through, but I'm just going to like quickly time lapse this. One thing I want to mention to you is ages ago, I mentioned on my Instagram that I'm absolutely sick to death of doing my medications and it just running all over me, like literally it's just such a messy thing. So I got this baby blanket that I put on me every time I do my medications. I misplaced this for ages and I was just using towels again, and I found it again, so I washed it the other day. So I'm just going to do my medications now, sort all that, and then connect myself to my pump.
Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. And I feel so free, oh my sweet baby. I was never the one to give up the ghost. No, I was so stuck, I kept on playing my part, wanting to give up cause nothing.
Okay, so all of my medications are now done. I'm so sorry about how messy this literally looks behind me. It's because we're living at James at the minute and obviously all my clothes are on a clothes rail, and yeah, it just looks a bit messy. But yeah, I have just done my medications that I needed to take. I did take some this morning before I started filming, only because there are some I have to take first thing before I even get up, so I have already taken some of them. One of them I've just taken now is my iron, and I've just taken cyclazine as well, and I've just taken some of my vitamins. Oh my god, I absolutely hate doing iron, like I'm not even joking. It literally smells so bad and I just can't. I do this every morning, like I'm not even joking. I literally retch every morning I'm doing my iron. Sometimes I retch so much I actually end up being sick. I think I'm alright. I just can't describe how much I hate taking iron. It smells so bad, and yeah, it's just not nice. So this was the reason, by the way, that I use this blanket. So if you can see here how much, I'll turn it around actually, how much of a mess I've made. Like, this is the iron and this is the water. So it's a reason why I use this blanket on me, just to protect myself. So just to mention as well, the cream that I put on before has now dried up. So if you can see, I know it looks a bit strange, but it does kind of just create this barrier, and it's all dried up now, so I can put my tubey pad on. Don't know what to use. Might go polar bears. I think I'll go polar. Actually, no. Do you know what? I'm going to go zebra. Zebra panda. So this one that I'm going to wear today is actually from another company. So it's not Layla Belly. It's another company that is called So by Zoe, which is one of my friends that started doing tube pads. It's literally so cute. She sent me these and they're just literally the nicest things ever. I really like pandas, and yeah, it's just one of the nicest things. So some people don't wear tubey pads, other people do. It's not like a thing that you have to wear. Some nurses actually advise against you wearing tubey pads because you're supposed to keep it open, but in my personal experience, like I said, whatever works best for you. I unfortunately literally have to wear them or my skin will just turn so bad. So one thing I also have as well is I have this little basket. So every time I've used something, I pop everything in this basket just so I can take it downstairs easily and clean it all. So these are just some things I need to clean. There are what I've just used. I've just used these baby bottles. That's got my iron in it that I've just used. I've just used that pillow crusher, so I need to go downstairs and clean all them. But I put them in that basket just because it's a bit easier to take downstairs rather than carrying everything and having to do 1 or 2 trips. So let me put my medications back in this drawer. And yeah, I'm pretty much done now. All I have left to do is just connect myself to my pump. So I now officially have this water running through me. So I'm going to be connected to this for the rest of the day. I'm going to just take this off, and I sometimes like to use chew clips as well. So this is just something that you can connect to your jumper or anything like that, whatever you're wearing. Sometimes I just connect it on the bottom there, and you can just kind of tie your tube up in it. Just because sometimes, especially if you're in public or anything like that, you don't want to be like having these wires hanging down. So this just kind of like creates like a little loop like that. I know it doesn't look the nicest, but yeah, so I'm all connected now. This is me for the rest of the day. I'm gonna go and wash all of them cups out. I can't think of what else I need to do in the morning, but yeah, I'm all done now. So this is literally me for the rest of the day. If I was out in public, I'd have to connect it to my backpack, but other than that, I don't, especially at the minute I don't leave the house. So I'm just going to tidy up because I made an absolute mess. I do this every single day. I'm going to tidy up. I'm going to obviously put all of them back and put them in the bin. I also need to clean up the top of there again, top of my medical cart, and just put everything away that I've used. So I'm going to do that now, and I'll probably catch up with you later on when I have some more tube requests. Just a midday update. So it's roughly about 3:30 in the afternoon. I've just made myself a delicious brew, which you guys know. Lovely. By the way, if anyone's watching this for the first time that has never watched my vlogs before and you found this by looking at feeding tubes, etc., I have done a vlog about how I do still eat while I have a feeding tube. I'll just quickly briefly explain now. Anything that I do eat or drink orally doesn't stay in, so this tea will be back out soon. But yeah, I just sometimes find it very hard not to drink and eat during the day, even though it doesn't stay in and make a difference. But yeah, it's personal preference. Everyone is very different. But yeah, I've done a full video explaining that if any of you want to watch that. I hope this has given you a bit of an insight anyway. Obviously, I'll catch up with you when I'm getting ready for bed and things like that. But throughout the day, I will have my feed. So I'm not going to record me doing my feed because it's a bit boring. It takes ages. But basically, I'm on Ensure Compact, so rather than running it through here, through my pump, I'm on Ensure Compact. I'm on 6 a day. Sometimes if I'm feeling really crap and I don't want to do it bolus, I will actually, one of them empty water bottles, I'll just pour all of the feed in one and I'll run that throughout the day. But a lot of the time I'll just do it during the day, so like randomly I'll just put my pump on hold, put my feed through here, then connect it back up to my water again. The reason why, everyone asks me this all the time, but why I don't have it running on the pump overnight, reason being is because I just honestly, preference wise, I hate doing it overnight. Like, I'm being so serious. I used to be on the pump overnight when I first ever got a feeding tube, and it used to give me vivid nightmares of not being able to sleep, because I'd have nightmares it would fall out. I'd have nightmares that I'd roll over on it and I'd pull it out, and it just, honestly, I could never sleep when I was on it overnight. I just hated it. So when I spoke to my dietitian about it, they actually said, no, it's fine, you can go on bolus if you want, and I find it so much easier. But there are days that I am really poorly and I just don't have the energy to do it, so I either have to get someone to do it for me or I just run it through my pump. But yeah, I am on the pump every single day. It doesn't get in my way, it doesn't really bother me, only when I'm like trying to get stuff done and I couldn't be connected to that at the same time. So I just disconnect it for 5-10 minutes and I'm back on it again. It is a bit frustrating some days, but other days it just seems very normal to me. This is my normal way of life. I know it's very hard for some people to get used to it when they first ever get a feeding pump, but after a while it just becomes part of your daily routine that you don't even think about it and you can't remember what it's like not to be on it. But yeah, so I hope today has been helpful for anyone, or just giving you a bit of an insight as to kind of the upkeep of the tube. Obviously throughout the day I have to have more medication and things like that. But it just kind of showed you a bit of my morning routine and what I have to do. And yeah, I'll probably catch up with you later on tonight because there's not much else I need to do now apart from let my feeds run through, my water run through, and then do my feed throughout the day. Other than that, again, medications, and then at night time I'll disconnect, clean my tube again, and then go back to sleep. So I'll catch up with you later on. Hey, so I just actually had to unhook from my pump for about 10 minutes just while I vomited. And I've just noticed how badly my tube is actually leaking today, so I just thought I'd take it off because I need to change it because I just can't keep that on my skin and just show you. Oh, you literally can't even see it in the camera properly. I don't know if you'll be able to see all that shine at all. I'm really not sure if you can see that, but that is literally soaking wet. Like, it's really wet. This is the back of it. The back doesn't look too bad. It's like leaked through the tubey pad on the front, but yeah, if I just do that, you can see how much it's leaked. So because it's actually leaking that much, like I said, I can't have it on my skin when it's that wet. It's just really not good for my tube. It's not good for my skin. So I'm actually just going to pop this in my dirty one. I'm just going to put a fresh one on. So normally I put, like I said, I put one on in the morning, then one on in the evening before I go to bed. But today I think we're going to be on a 3-day tubey pad type of day. But that's fine because it is what it is, isn't it? So we're just going to change to this cute little I don't know what you'd call this one. It's like cookies and hot chocolate on. So just gonna pop this on, just thought I'd give you an update. The tube itself, the skin underneath it is fine. I have popped some more cream on it before because it was stinging a little bit, but yeah, apart from that, we're all good. Hello everybody. So it is getting towards bedtime now and I'm feeling a little bit crap, I'm not gonna lie. So I am gonna do my nightly routine a little bit earlier today. So I've just done my meds because I'm actually still on my water, because as I said, it does take quite a while to run through, and obviously I put it on a bit later today, so I'm still connected to it and I've already done them. I did change my pants, by the way, before. I was sick on myself. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it, I was sick on myself. So, but because I'm not feeling very well, I know this sounds absolutely minging, but I'm not well enough to have a shower, because when I feel so crap, it's really dangerous for me to have a shower, because as I've told you before, because of one of my conditions called POTS, I collapse quite often, and if I have a shower and I don't feel well, I'll end up on the floor, and we don't want that. So I just kind of washed myself over the sink, changed my pants, and we're all good. So yeah, I'm just gonna clean my tube again now, put my new tube pad on for the night, and then we'll get ready for bed.
Changing, but with you it's so clear, and now that you're here I see colors in every spectrum. Guess I finally learned my lesson, 'cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever, and I feel so free, oh my sweet baby.
Okay, so that is me all done for the day today. I am probably going to conclude today's vlog here. I know it's not been a majorly like in-depth vlog, it was just kind of inviting you to see what I deal with my tube throughout the day and the things that I have to deal with. You know, it's very high maintenance living the feeding tube. You have to keep it clean all the time. You have to, you know, put creams on it. I have to have my feed, I have to run my fluids, and then after all that I have to clean everything again. And yeah, it's very high maintenance, but something that I've very got used to over the years, and it's just something that I don't know any different now. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed today's video, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and give the video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. I have got a few video requests that have been sent to me via DM, and a few comments as well, so I will make sure I get to them. But if you have anything at all that you'd like me to do, just let me know. You can either DM me on Instagram. My Instagram account name is beth.battle_, because I can't just use beth.battle because someone else has got it. But yeah, if you are watching this, obviously today is Saturday, but tomorrow is going to be Sunday when you're watching this, so happy Mother's Day to anyone out there in the UK. I really hope you've had a lovely day. Out of all the 24 years that I've been living, this will be the first Mother's Day that I won't live with my mum. It's going to be so strange, but yeah, I'm sure we'll be able to speak on FaceTime and stuff. So I hope you have all had a lovely weekend and a lovely week, and I will catch up with you next week as well. Just let me know if you need anything at all. I'm really quite catching up with my Instagram DMs now. I think I've got about 5 or 6 unread, so that's really good considering I had about 350 the other week. So yeah, really hope you're all okay. Lovely to catch up, and I will speak to you next week. Bye.
To myself, and I'm thinking out loud, we won't need nothing else for the rest of our time.